Hello everyone, welcome back to National Tax Service YouTube channel, and this is KJ. And we still have our guest who will be introducing a lot about the tax service you need to concern about every year.
Welcome back, nice to meet you again.
Yeah. So on the first video, this is the second video. So first video we basically explained about what year-end tax settlement is and some frequently asked questions about this year-end tax settlement. And now I heard the topic of this video today is very, very important and some new things.
Yes, right.
So would you explain about the topic of this?
Today's topic will be the flat tax rate.
So basically flat tax rate is just as you hear from the name. The tax rate is just flat to everybody who is willing to do this way.
Yes.
So it's 19%.
19%.
So no matter how much you earn, if you take this way, you just pay 19% of your total income as a tax and you're done. That's basically the concept.
Yes, right.
But the most important thing about this flat tax rate is that like the income deductions and all the tax related stuffs are not being applied if you take to pay tax in flat rate, right?
Yes, they are not applied.
So, but there are some major and minor changes to this flat tax rate system.
Yes.
So, would you explain about the change?
Okay, starting from income incurred in 2023 and after, the application period of the flat tax rate has been extended significantly from 5 years to 20 years.
Well, that's basically a very drastic change because it was 5 years in the past, but now it's 20 years. So that, I guess, is a huge change if you are an actual foreign worker working in South Korea. And it would be very valuable news for foreign workers as well.
Yes.
Well, it depends on the situation though. So then can you explain more about like this change and this whole flat tax rate scheme?
So, except for cases where foreigners without a Korean nationality, as of the last day of the taxable year, and where foreigners are employed by special relationships, foreigners can choose to have the 90% flat tax rate applied for 20 years, starting from the taxable year to which the first day of labor in Korea belongs. Is that no income deductions or tax credits, reductions, and exemptions can be applied.
So basically no deduction, nothing, just 19% of the whole income or salary you're getting.
Yes, right.
So just like the previous video, why don't we explain further with some exact numbers?
Okay. For example, if an annual gross wage and salary is 100 million won and 10 million won is non-taxable income, the payable tax under the flat tax rate is just only 90 million won by multiplying 90% only to the gross wage and salary of 100 million won.
So it applies in this kind of way. So please check out the video, like how it's getting calculated and so on. I think the biggest question among foreign workers would be, which way should I choose for my situation? So for this choosing between the original tax rate and choosing the flat tax rate, what would be better for foreigners?
As you can see from the calculation examples I explained before, well, under the flat tax rate scheme and progressive tax rate scheme, the tax amount according to the two methods very differs depending on the taxpayer's total wage and salary amount, and also with income deduction and tax credits. So,
so basically you have to deep dive into your own situation to figure out which way is better.
Right. So in case of flat tax rate schemes, non-taxable income is included, but income deduction and tax credits do not apply to flat tax rate. But in progressive tax rate calculation, non-taxable income and income deduction can be deducted from gross wage and salary, so the applicable tax rate also differs in terms of that. So you should compare the two of these between progressive and the flat tax rate and choose the method that have to pay less tax.
Okay, so we mentioned about the documentation system of year-end tax settlement, which is the progressive tax method. And for flat tax rate, so would there be any specific documentation thing you have to prepare to get this?
Yes. To get flat tax rate, a foreign employee who would like to have applied the flat tax rate should attach the form of application for flat tax rate for foreign employees with the reporting, deduction, and tax credit application form to the withholding company.
Okay, so you guys are looking through the screen, the whole form of this, and the name of this form in Korean is 외국인 근로자 단일 세율 적용 신청서. So if you are not familiar with how this sounds, just in case, I just told you how it sounds. Like we are basically introducing all of these in English, but like we are looking at this Korean form right now. So where's the English form?
Actually, I'm sorry to say that, but there's no English form. So you should ask friends or ask people to help you guys write the form in Korea.
Okay, so basically this form is only given out in Korean. So if you do not understand Korean really well, you have to find out some ways to write down this application. And one of the biggest changes that happened to this flat tax rate scheme was that the period was changed from 5 years to 20 years. How does this apply to the actual workers, like the extension of the period?
With the extended periods, foreign employees who have provided labor since 20 years ago or less than 20 years can choose to have the flat tax rate applied starting from income incurred in 2023.
Right, so I understand the basic concept, but there are like lots of various situations like for all of like different stories from each foreign worker. So for example, like you worked in Korea for 5 years and left Korea and came back to Korea. So then like it's plus 5 years, but like there are some missing periods. So like in these kind of situations, how does this tax flat rate, the extended period, how do you calculate the period?
The standard year will be the January 1st, 2014. So I will explain about examples. So if a foreigner entered Korea in 2011, which is before January 1st, 2014, and has continued to provide labor in Korea up to the present day, January 1st, 2014 shall be considered the date on which the first labor provided in Korea. So flat tax rate can be applied for the following days.
So basically the count, so we basically start counting from January 1st, 2014. So before-wise, like no matter how long you worked, it doesn't count into this whole 20 years extension. When you leave Korea and you come back and resume your working period, like how do you calculate that?
In that case, a foreigner who entered Korea in 2011, then departed in 2013, and then back to Korea as employee in January 1st, 2015. So in that case, that is after 2014. So January 2015 shall be deemed the date on which labor was first provided in Korea.
Okay, so it all just, the calculation basically stands from the January 1st of 2014. So before-wise, you don't need to really care about it. So you just have to calculate the working period after January 1st, 2014. So throughout two of these videos, we took a quick look about the basic tax system being applied to foreigners and about year-end tax system and also the flat rate tax system, which you can choose between those two. These are very brief videos, so if you have more questions or if you're not fully understandable with these concepts, please check out the nts.go.kr to check out further information suitable for yourself. Why don't you say goodbye
Okay.
to all of the video watchers?
Yeah, so we hope you find this video very useful. Yeah, thank you very much.
So we'll wrap up this video, and if you have more chance to communicate with you guys, we'll come back later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.